Ladies and gentlemen, one of YouTube's most prolific creeps, aka the #1 cupcake enjoyer, aka Eat Dat Peanut 445, Fat Boy Bigums, aka EDP, is back on YouTube, unfortunately. I don't know why this guy keeps returning. As you all may remember, this guy was caught in a sting. Basically, Alex Rosen and Gideon met up with EDP pretending to be a, underage person. He came out to get a cupcake, aka that was his excuse to try to meet up with a younger person.
Go ahead. Well, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake and then go back home.
Oh, okay.
There was.
Do they sell cupcakes
That was
in this driveway?
And he's been banned from YouTube countless times, banned from many platforms, and getting to the point where EDP had to go from basically this YouTube comedian slash influencer to having to get a real job, in air quotes, right, at 9 to 5, something like Uber Eats, where people actually caught him driving Uber Eats, and not sure if he's still working there, but in his new channel, he does talk about how he's been working a lot lately, and like he's super busy after work, blah, blah, blah. But no matter how many times he's banned, terminated, or just downright called out, exposed, laughed at for, being an absolute creepy degenerate, he returns to YouTube, this time again as Old School EDP or Fat Boy Bigums. And he's already seemed to have dropped quite a few bangers like Dear Pet Owners, Parents Don't Understand Discipline, because if you ever need parenting advice, make sure it's from EDP. Karma is real, we know that, especially, looking at your situation. My current firearm collection. So there you go, guys. Stop messing around with EDP, or he's gonna whip out the what is this? The Spaz 12 on you, the Modern Warfare 2 shotgun. My neighbor was batshit crazy. So he's returned to his internet shenanigans, typical rants and raves, whatever. And again, they don't hit the same, right? The dude is funny. We can admit that, right? But sometimes no amount of humor is going to ever, change the past, change your controversies. Look at Bill Cosby, right? We're never going to let as much jokes as that guy makes, or his whole lineage of, having the Cosby Show and whatnot, is never going to quite change the fact that he roofied some people, right? Same thing with EDP. No matter how many times this guy does funny cameos and funny videos and returns to his roots of like these unscripted, unhinged rants, nothing is going to change the fact that he was caught in a sting operation trying to hook up with an underage person. That is something that is going to go down in the history books and go down as EDP's legacy or infamy, whatever you want to call that.
What the fuck ever happened to disciplining your kids? In other words, whooping your motherfucking kids' ass when they get the fuck out of line. It seems like that's a lost art with today's motherfucking parenting. And thank God I'm not no goddamn parent, you feel me? Because holy I'd probably be in a mental institution, you feel me?
Now, I think a lot of us are very thankful that you're not a parent either, EDP, and I don't think you would be in a mental institution. You'd probably be in a prison if you had a child. Thankfully, you don't. Again, you've kind of already given us that point.
I thank God. As much as I want a girlfriend, and as much as I want to be able to someday have a beautiful family, I thank God every goddamn day I get to come home and I don't get to hear a motherfucking thing. Because who in the fuck wants to listen to that shit all goddamn day?
I mean, I'd probably ask the same thing to you, EDP. Imagine, you're a wife and you come home after a long day of work or something, and your husband, EDP, oh, shivers, right? He's sitting here screaming at a camera, right? He's wearing the same Eagle shirt he's been wearing for the last 25 years. He's screaming at a camera, right? Kids are probably screaming. Hopefully he doesn't ever have those, but hypothetically in this like imaginary scenario where he did have a nice kid and wife, that is also disgusting to imagine. you have to come home to that thing. Right? You have to come home to the cupcake lover himself, which is a scary scenario to be in. It's kind of as scary as this scenario of EDP's videos where he's like ranting about kids crying. Like, this is the kind of content he's resorted to nowadays, ranting about babies crying.
I remember one time back up in the day, I was visiting my homie Erica way back up in the day. She had her kid, right? What? 3 months, 6 months old, however old she was at the time. Man, I went over there to, have a goddamn have a sleepover. I was cooking for him and shit, right? And kids started screaming, "Yep, I'm out. Have a good day, nigga."
Why is EDP having a sleepover at a woman's house that has a freaking 6-month-old? Am I the only one worried about that? Either way, this could have been pre-cupcake, but the fact that the cupcake situation happened makes you really think about, of course, the past. Nobody just wakes up one day wanting a cupcake, right? It's clearly something that's in someone's brain. Their brain is wired a bit off to want that kind of thing. That's why EDP needs to stay off of the internet. And for once, this guy doesn't really have a community anymore. Even the entire comment section of this video is pretty much against this guy, which is like surprising. Usually when this guy posts a video, people in the comments are kind of like laughing at his jokes, but like this time, we're getting serious. People are just like calling him a cockroach, right? As much as I want a girlfriend and a family, who's going to tell him? How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? Thank God I'm not a parent. Yeah, I'd thank God as well. This is going to be everyone's reaction, thankfully. It seems like people are finally starting to realize that, yeah, this guy might be funny. He might have had a humorous time of his life where he was like a meme on the internet, but that doesn't absolve him of his sins, right? I'm not like a religious figure, but you have to admit that his controversies are probably one of the worst things you can do as an online creator, enough that you should rightfully be shunned for the rest of your career, right? If you log off, go get a real job, stay off the internet, you might blend in with society until someone's like, "Wait a minute, are you EDP?" But do not come back. Literally nobody wants you to return, EDP. YouTube's going to keep banning you, right? You can't have an AdSense account. Basically, you will never get paid from YouTube. I wouldn't be surprised if like every other website bans you once they find out why YouTube decided to terminate you as well. In the way that he words every sentence, it's like you're waiting for him to just slip up and say something so like we can joke about it. But again, in reality, this is like a real situation that happened. As much as we would like to just think it's funny and hilarious that EDP comes back, the reason I do it is because, of course, he's going to try to come back to make money and make content. I'm going to make money off of that as well. If you're an evil person and you're going to make content and money, I'm going to make money off of you. Is essentially like my logic, right? Now, I want to know what you guys think down below about EDP's return. Eat That Peanut 445 is back on the interwebs. He'll probably get banned again pretty soon. I don't even know if this guy's like doing Cameo anymore. The last time I covered him, he was doing cameos and he was making videos where he was again ranting and raving and cussing a lot, and that channel got banned, but he's back for now. So we'll see how this cookie crumbles, guys. Thanks for watching.